One in particular, that was the second play of the game where Gentry Williams got the interception. If you watch the pre-snap activity on that play, it's really interesting to see what happens when Texas makes the final shift of their final formation in their pre-snap activity. Whenever they make that final shift, you see Danny Stutzman and Jaron Kanik almost simultaneously recognize the formation, and that triggers something that I'm betting that they saw in their preparation, in their film work, to say, okay, here's either the pre-snap motion or the formation or something caused them to think, okay, we've seen this before, we know what's coming, and you see them almost simultaneously start to hand signal to the rest of the defense something. They're shifting something, they're communicating something. We don't know exactly what, but what you see happen is a couple of things. You see Ethan Downs move from his right defensive end spot. He had he was lined up out just outside the tackle. Whenever Texas makes that final shift, you see Stutzman and Canix run their signals and communicate to the defense. You see Ethan Downs moves from his right defensive end spot out wide to the trips formation, or to the receivers that are in that trips formation on the Texas left side. And as soon as the ball is snapped, you see watch what he does here. He blows this up. So what they're doing is they're protecting against that bubble play. And Ethan's job right there, based on that shift they made defensively, was blow that up so that the other two, so that Stutzman and Washington there on the screen can come in and clean up the play. Now, that goes unnoticed because obviously the play went to the other side. But watch, whenever Stutzman and Kanik start their signaling here, watch what Gentry Williams does. He's Gentry Williams, top of your screen. He goes from playing press to backing off. Now, we'd have to talk to them to know exactly what was going on there and what they were thinking. But what it looks like to me is they saw something in the formation that told them what the play was going to be. If you see Williams, he doesn't move a muscle the whole time that receiver is coming up on him. So he knows, I'm guessing he probably knows where that route's going to go. And he barely even has to move in order to cut Mitchell off there and intercept that pass. It's a really cool sequence to watch how the defense is working together as a unit, and it's something that you don't do that unless you have spent hours in the film room watching and processing things, and then to be able to translate that to a game and communicate to each other in that kind of time frame and run that kind of operation. It's pretty cool to see that play out.
Well, and it's interesting to watch that play because I feel like Quinn Ewers, it felt like he almost thought Gentry Williams maybe wasn't paying attention, because I don't know how he throws that ball thinking Gentry Williams isn't paying attention, because Gentry Williams is right there.
I think there's a couple of things that Ewers is anticipating there, and a couple of things that's happening. One, he's expecting Mitchell to fight and cross Williams's face and win that route, because that's it's kind of wide receiver 101. If you're running a slant, you're supposed to cross the face. You are not supposed to let the defensive back cut you off on the route. And the other thing that's happening there, if you see it on the play, whenever the ball snapped, Ewers gets pressure up the middle from the defensive line. I think it's Kelly or Coe. I can't remember or can't see who that is exactly. Oh, it's Bothroyd, I think, there on the end. And so he can't really step into it, and I would bet his view is probably a little bit obstructed there too when you look at it. And so he might not be able to see exactly whether or not Mitchell is crossing his face, and he's got to throw that with some anticipation too in order for it to be on time. There's a lot going on there. The bottom line is that if I'm a Texas wide receivers coach, I'm telling Mitchell he's got to win that route there. He's got to cross his face. He can't let Gentry cut him off like that and get the INT.